summarize the question, it was just how do we get skill, job training, skills training. What you're asking almost goes beyond the capacity of a school in terms of providing that training. But going back to that young men and young women's empowerment, when those young people are exposed to someone like yourself, who's an entrepreneur, right? And your question, 99% of it was dealing with the training. How do we get them there, right? But see, here's how we use your services. If I were the principal of the school, and I went to you and I said, I want you to come in and talk to my children about that very question, I want to be in a position, this is part of what we do, I want to take them to your place of employment. I want them to see you working. See, I may not be able to, with being the principal and being the school, I may not be able to, chances are excellent, I'm not going to be able to provide the job. That's not even my role. My role is to get them ready for it. But see, with you, now I partner with the community and yourself. Now I got you, and now I got you to come into the school, and just your presence as a model for them. So now here you are, and you're not asking me for a dime to do it. Right. Just your presence. There's some sister, some young lady who just seeing you is going to connect with you and say, I want to be like you. So see, now I may not be able to provide the job, but I can provide the inspiration to get the job or the skill because you're in the building. And I'm only using you as an example. I can say everybody in this room, but you're there. But we take it a step further. When I say 99% of what you said was the skill in the job, here's what I meant by it. You're an entrepreneur. I want to plant that seed more than I want to plant that job seed. I don't even want to have the conversation about the job. I want to talk about you owning your own business. Say it differently. I want to talk to them about living life on your terms. See, so now you're coming in and saying, look, and this without you bragging and boasting, you just thought, I'm an entrepreneur. And here's what I did. I had gone through the same challenges that you did, the same trials, the same tribulations that you did. But here's what I did, and I had to maintain a certain attitude in order for it to happen. See, and now as you and I instill that, and the mindset is changing, all that skill stuff, that will take care of itself. What I want to do is make Jalil hungry. That's right. But see, he's coming to me not demonstrating his hunger. He may be coming to me mad. He may be coming to me hungry, but looking for a quick fix to satisfy his hunger and not willing to crawl. So, I'm with you. Right. Absolutely. That mindset has to be also, as even as we not Black Wall Street. Absolutely. But last point on that. Go back to the question. You see, everything that we just said in this exchange, if history and culture are absent from the conversation, then it's almost for naught. But see, everything we just said, now I got to bring Darby into the conversation. So, because what you get, the last part of what you said will make sense to him when he sees or she sees that it's already been done. See, Garvey already laid this thing out. Elijah Muhammad already laid this thing out. See, so I just got to enlighten him and her to the fact that we ain't talking about nothing new. We're talking about stuff that's a part of you and your men. Let me introduce you to these people who now I expect you to pick up the torch and carry out what you just said. But let me give them historical context so that they understand what it is they should be doing. See, I'm going to go right here. Let me just say this one thing. The only reason, matter of fact, hear me well. I'm like home right now, and I almost don't know what to do with it. And let me explain this. These kind of presentations, I don't do them anymore. I don't get these kind of emails. I do staff development. That's what I do. When I do staff development, hear me well so you don't listen to particularly these cameras. Black children, the exception of the Deep South, black children in schools that are predominantly black, 99, 100%. The teachers in K-5 are white women. That's who their teachers are. That's not theory for me. This is what I know. I get to see it every day. Right? So when I walk into that environment, anybody loving the fact that Kafele is coming initially? I gotta earn that love. Because it's like, you hear the name Baruti Kafele. What's he doing? And some folks know my work, but the fact of the matter is, I don't have an audience that's necessarily there that loves Principal Kafele. So I'm walking into an audience where there might be a great deal of hostility in the room. So now, in order for me to meet my objective, I gotta win that audience over. I don't think I had to come in here and try to win folks. Right? But see, a lot of the work I do, I gotta win folks over. Because as I say to folks all the time, this world I'm in as a consultant, even though the children are the children on the other side of what I do are black children, Latino children, this world that I'm operating within, it's not a black world by any stretch of the imagination. Right? Somehow I've gotten into that other world in order to reach our kids. That's not easy to do. So I'm saying all that to say this. This thing, so in terms of reaching our kids, it's easy, but it's difficult at the same time. And it takes some special people to get it done. But when we got entrepreneurs, community people, all the capacities in this room, and you make the conscious attempt to partner with you. So, because see, I'm Jalil, and I'm growing up in my hood. And my neighborhood is shaping me, my values. So now I come into this classroom, and now teaching you bring your middle class values to this classroom, and your middle class lesson that you put together. And now I'm dealing with my work, and I'm dealing with my reality, whatever it might be. And now you want me excited every day about your Teacher, do you know what it's like to live my life? Do you know what it's like to walk in my shoes for 24 hours? Teacher, I challenge you to put my shoes on for 24 hours. I bet you can't do it. Now that's something I tell teachers every day. I say, toward building relationship with staff, with students, try putting their shoes on for one day. I challenge anyone in the room, I say, put them on for one day because you got some kids that are dealing with stuff. So if kids are dealing with stuff, imagine when you and I, we partner with the school to help bring about some balance. So that what you're saying becomes real for me, because right now with what I'm dealing with, what you say in terms of me becoming an entrepreneur or developing a skill, that's not my word. It's not real for me. It's not concrete. So Principal Kafele, I leave it to Raz and Brother Larry to deal with all the macro systemic stuff. But Principal Kafele, he can't deal with that. He's so micro, and all I want to do, I say take this to my grave, all I want to do is fire up some kids. That's all. That's all I want to do. That's what I wake up in the morning and do every day. All I want to do is fire up some kids. And if I can fire up that kid, then it opens the door for what you said. And Larry and Barack, y'all can change systems. And you make it easy for me. I can't do that. That's not my lane. I can't do what you do. I'm out of my lane. But if I could just go to some kid and spend a couple days with him in the school and get him excited, and he says, man, I can fly. I didn't know I could fly. Then I've done my job. That's what I do. One last question.
Thank God. You got me a little confused for a minute. But what you said sounds like Title II, Chapter 1 in 1990. But they had this in New Jersey. It never worked. Bringing business people from the community into the school system. Chapter 1 in 1990.
That's just a component. And I'm going to say this real short. That program, I have a curriculum that I wrote for. See, it's just like when I was in East Orange before homicide was even in existence. In 1995, I wrote a district-wide. See, folks got to be bold and audacious. I went to the superintendent of schools in East Orange somewhere around 94, 95, and said, we need a curriculum that addresses our kids. So I was a teacher. I went on it, he said, well, go ahead. I wrote the curriculum, used Molefi Asante's text called Journey of Liberation as the standard text for that book. That curriculum, I spent the entire summer writing a kindergarten through 12th grade curriculum. So East Orange had that. I don't know if they still have it, but every teacher that taught social studies in that city had that curriculum. When I became principal, I went to that superintendent in East Orange and said, allow me to Africanize this school. I said, if you are sojourning his school now, I said, if you allow me to do this, I promise you that our test scores will be the highest in the city of East Orange. I said, I promise you. So now he said, go ahead. So for those of you in the room that know Anthony Brown, Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization, that was a required text in grade 7 at Sojourner Truth Middle School. I mandated that. Molefi Asante's text, A Journey of Liberation. So now, that was mandated. So now, supplemental text, Ivan Van Serp, George G.M. James, Sheikh Antadia, John Jackson, and Dr. Jeffries was a regular visitor in the school. Right? So now, what happened in Dr. Gump? So the two of them. And also, brother down in New Brunswick, whose name is escaping me right now. But, Brother Salim. But then it would be. So now, here you go, I see. Right. Regulars in the school. So now what happened with the test scores? Well, when those 6th graders became 8th graders, because of the context of the school, it wasn't just those courses in social studies. Language arts became culturally responsive. Math became culturally responsive. Science became culturally responsive. So now, when those 6th graders became 8th graders, not only did that school become the #1 performing school in East Orange, it was the #1 school of comparable demographics in the entire state of New Jersey in 2002. So we knew that the reason why was because we provided young people with a curriculum where they saw themselves. So now you couple bringing brothers and sisters into the school who are supplementing what it is that they get in your curriculum. Kids can't fail. I don't care if you blood, you Crip, you Latin King, you MS-13, it don't matter. Because now we're going to offset that with a knowledge of who you are.
Right.
So,
Give Brother Kafele a big hand. Baruti Kafele, give him a big hand. Give him a big hand. We are not finished tonight. We do have some business to take care of with regards to the People's Organization for Progress. Come work that down there because that's what they do. They sell houses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, they'll tear a brand new house
Yeah.
down in a minute.
Yeah.
You know, I think they tore Holyfield house up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know.
You sure you don't want something to drink?
Is that coffee there?
Yeah.
Oh, you have coffee?
I can make some for you. I got this on the way from Dunkin' Donuts. I didn't know. But I can make you some. I can make it on mine.
Okay.
I can make you coffee. I can make you tea.
No, I'm a coffee drinker.
You're a
I'll
coffee
take the
drinker?
coffee, yeah.
Okay.
just
Let me make you some coffee. So what questions are you going to ask me?
Well, basically, just dealing, you know, your friendship. What do you think about her?